Hey guys, so in this video we're going to be solving a system of two equations using matrix equations. So we're going to start by doing what we did in the last video and just setting up the equations. So we already have these lined up x's, y's, answers. So we're just going to set up the equations. So first the coefficients. And then the variables. And then the constants. Okay, so now the next thing I need to do is I need to find the inverse of this. So we're basically doing everything that we did in the last two videos and putting it all together. So I need to find the inverse of this. So the first thing I need to do is I need to find the determinant. So the determinant is going to be negative 12 times negative 3. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second there. Negative 12 times negative 3 minus negative 10 times negative 4. So 36 minus 40, which is negative 4. Negative 4 is going to be my determinant. And then my inverse is going to be 1 over negative 4 times, I'm going to switch the places of these two. So negative 3, negative 12, and then the signs of these two. So 4 and 10, and then I'm going to distribute that 1 over negative 4. So I have 3/4. 10 divided by negative 4 is negative, not 2. The 2 goes on the bottom. Negative 5 over 2. 4 times 1 over negative 4 is negative 1. Negative 12 times 1 over negative 4 is positive 3. So this is my inverse. And so now I need to multiply the inverse times the solution matrix, or the constant matrix. So I have 3/4, negative 5 over 2, negative 1, 3, 12, 6. And if you look at the dimensions, this is the direction that will work. This is a 2x1 matrix. This is a 2x2 matrix. So this is the direction that I need to multiply in order for it to work. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to have 3/4 times 12. 3/4 times 12 is 9. Plus, I'm going to forget, so let's just write the 9. So that's 9 plus negative 5/2 times 12, which is negative 30. Yeah. Okay. Times 12. What am I doing? No. Negative 5/2 times 6. This times this, and then this times this. You're probably all screaming at the screen already. You already know that that's not right. Negative 5/2 times 6. So that would be 5 times 3. So that's negative 15. And then for the bottom one, we have negative 1 times 12 is negative 12. 3 times 6 is 18. So if I do that addition, I'm going to get negative 6 and positive 6. That's fun. Okay, so that tells me that xy equals negative 6, positive 6. Or another way of writing that would be x equals -6, y equals +6. And that's why that order matters, right? Because this corresponds with x and this corresponds with y. And if I switch the order, then I switch which one's x and which one's y, and that doesn't work. Okay, so this is my solution. So I can write it this way or I can write it this way. Either way, that would be correct. The other way to write it, right, would be like that. So any of these three would be correct. I usually prefer this one, but any of these would be correct in this case. Okay, so let's go ahead and do number 8. So I'm going to erase all of this so I have room again. Okay, so I'm going to set up my equation. So I have the coefficients, and then the variables, and then the constants. And the first thing I need to do is I need to find the determinant of this. Another thing, sorry, the inverse of this, and to do that, I need to find the determinant. Another thing that I didn't mention, another way you could get no solution would be if this thing doesn't have an inverse. So remember that if we do the determinant and we get 0 for the determinant, then that means that this doesn't have an inverse. So if this doesn't have an inverse, then I can't find a solution. So that's another way that this could be no solution. So, or no unique solution, I guess would be a better way to put that. That would give us no unique solution. I can't solve it this way if this doesn't have an inverse. Okay, so let's find the inverse. So determinant is 12 times -1 times -12 is +12 minus 10 times 3, or sorry, -10 times 3, which is -30, so plus 30, right, because we're subtracting and it's negative. Plus 30, so I have 42. My determinant is 42. And so my inverse is 1/42. Switching the locations of the -1 and the -12. And then changing the signs on the 3 and the -10. And then distributing that 42, or 1/42, so I have -1/42. 5/21. -1/14. To -2/7. That is my inverse, and I really don't want to write that again, so I'm just going to write the constant matrix here and go ahead and multiply. So we're going to multiply just like we did before. This times this plus this times this, and then this times this plus this times this. So I'm going to do that just in the calculator, and then I'm just going to write the answer. So if I do -1/42 times 26 plus 5/21 times 11, I'm going to get 2. And then if I do negative 1 over 14 times 26 plus negative 2 over 7 times 11, I'm going to get negative 5. So the fractions are kind of messy, but the numbers come out nice. So then the answer is going to be xy equals to negative 5, or x equals to y equals negative 5, or 2 negative 5. Okay, so hopefully that helps. That's all of the steps for this. And let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.